Welcome to the Roadshow podcast.
King Coleman.
What's going on, my man?
How's training?
Always good, brother. Always training hard.
Couple of questions I had like fucking in my head for the last couple of weeks because we had this book for a while.
Yep.
Is when did you first know that you wanted to become a fighter?
I started pretty late. I feel like I've always had it in me.
Yeah.
But I didn't really start training properly till I was 25.
Shit.
So
That's pretty late, like for someone who's actually going into fighting. Like training's you can train forever, right?
yeah, 100%. So yeah, I didn't have my first fight till I was 27.
Shit.
So late.
Did you dominate?
It was a good fight. I won.
Yeah. Nice.
But yeah, like I feel like I've always had it in me, but I kind of expressed it through other ways. Like was heavy into the powerlifting and kind of, well, you know, the bodybuilding scene. Yeah.
We did a little something.
A little something back in the day. But yeah, didn't really start fully training until 25.
Yeah, right.
And then fell in love with it straight away.
So what made you choose Muay Thai?
I love it. I love striking, and I feel like that's like the most complete striking martial art.
Yeah. It's the most usable.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's the most brutal as well, I feel.
Yeah. Like if you see a guy do like a 540 fucking reverse spin kick like in the street, you're like, just punch him in the face.
Yeah. That's cool. Here's an elbow.
Yeah, it's good night. Yeah, it is definitely the most usable. I think I only did a little bit of training in Muay Thai at Riddlers, and that was good, but it is brutal. It is brutal. And it shows you how much of a little bitch you are.
Yeah, there's a bit of that.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, it's one of the most effective, I feel, because fighters fight. Do you know what I mean? So, like, some of the traditional martial arts, you can't actually strike to the face or, you know, and it's how effective is that in a real situation, I guess.
Yeah. Do you think that you would be, you would have the same kind of like drive if you were doing like a grappling kind of martial art instead of striking?
For sure, but it's very, obviously very different, different elements, you know. You don't have to worry about being
smashed in the face.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's more like jiu-jitsu, for example, is more of like a chess match, isn't it? Like, obviously there's elements of you still need to be strong and fit and have everything working together, but it's different. But yeah, you'd adapt, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's one way to look at it is like a chess match, because there's like the infinite possibility of your hand goes here and then what happens like 2 or 3 moves after that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I think like if there's an elbow flying your way, you've got to solely focus on that elbow.
Yeah. I mean, you're still like setting people up in striking and it's still a chess match, but there's other elements, you know, and then it's like, to me, it's like performing under pressure with, someone trying to take your head off and everything that goes into that.
Yeah. How did your, because your reflexes for dodging like kicks and stuff are fucking hectic. Like, I saw that one photo, I'll chuck it up on the screen, where you're just like leant back, like, and it's so close, but you can see that kick's just like flowing straight past you.
Yeah, it's like obviously a lot of drilling and just, you know, put the rounds in sparring, you start seeing things better, you know, you just got to kind of be in the water swimming, you know what I mean? That one you're talking about, he was throwing the left kick a lot, so I kind of feinted to draw it out, knowing he would throw that to then pull back and counter. Right. So
what'd you hit him with?
Low kick and then hook.
Oh, nice. Did it both land?
Yeah, both landed.
Yeah, fuck. That's wild, dude. That you can even like, because you don't think about what's going through a fighter's head when you're watching it, right? You're basically just like, what's going to happen next, you know? But it's like you said, like a chess match, even in striking, I guess.
Yeah, it's very different when you're in there. Like,
yeah. What was the first fight like nerve-wise?
Well, I didn't know what to expect, so I was nervous, but I've been more nervous for other fights. Yeah. Because, like, you know what you're going into. You know what I mean? Yeah. But, yeah, it was the unexpectedness obviously made me super nervous. But once I got in there.
Was that fighting under Riddlers as well?
Yeah. Every fight I've had's been under Riddlers.
Yeah, okay. So you've had one loss now?
I just lost my last one actually, so I've had 2 now.
2 losses, okay.
8-2, yeah.
Oh, dude, those fucking photos that you sent me of those gashes.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. That's like, you could see the respect that you got from the community from that.
Yeah, for sure. That's like the cool thing about Muay Thai as well. You know, like I was riding a 7-fight win streak and losing this fight, but, you know, showing heart and being cut and covered in blood, got way more respect for any of those fights that I've won.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's I guess it's not about the record so much in Muay Thai.
It's about your heart.
Yeah, it's like fighters fight. Do you know what I mean? So the best fighters fighting the best fighters, and not like just ducking people and padding your record, and you know having a good scrap. And
Have you been up against anyone that's conservative during fighting? The ones that like will hold back just because they know like they could win on points or.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, there's obviously everyone's got a bit of a different style. I have fought people like that who are trying to win on points and stuff like that. My style is kind of the exact opposite of that, so it kind of makes out for
knock them out.
Well, I'm coming forward to make it a war most times. So it kind of it's who gets their game off, I guess. If someone's trying to play defensive, counter and score, versus like someone's coming forward with a pressure style, it can make for a good fight, you know?
Yeah. Do you get a lot of comments after your fights of like how well you're presented in the fight? Because I noticed that you do go forward at the fighters a lot. Like you got like nothing to lose. Like, let's go.
Yeah, I love a good scrap. I love a good war. I feel like it's more entertaining for the fans and stuff as well, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of just in me as well. Like,
yeah,
my style. My coach,
fighting Irish.
Yeah, a bit of that. Yeah, my coach actually picked it before my first fight. He said, "You're not going to be the type of fighter to kind of dance around and want to win on points. Like I can see you got that competitor in you." So like credit to him as well. He kind of brought it out in me more and like kind of tailored my style towards.
How? So you got in the ring 2 years after started training.
Yep.
How long before you started sparring?
So, I mean, I'd kind of sparred a bit before I even started Muay Thai, just like
street spar.
No, just like, you know, always messed around boxing and stuff like that with friends because I was always kind of interested in it, but like I didn't really pull the trigger and go training full time at a gym till I was 25.
Yeah.
So I picked it up fairly quick. Probably sparring within the first 3 months.
Wow.
Yeah, I went to Thailand within 6.
That's right. And then here, right?
Yeah, that's right. So pretty much I started and was like, oh, I want to do this. Like, I love this. So within 6 months, went to Thailand. Was planning to stay for 6 months to a year and just, you know, play catch up almost because I started late. And then after 2 months, I was about to have my first fight. Bang.
Damn. So what was it like in Thailand? What's the regimen? Like, what was your day to day?
It's pretty intense. So it's like, it's your job over there. Do you know what I mean? So you don't have to worry about work. You're just training. So wake up 6 a.m., you run. So most fighters will run a 10K. And then that's like kind of your warm up, come back, bit of shadow, bit of skip, and then into pads, do like 5-minute rounds on pads, bit of clinching in the morning and then like drilling, and bag work. And then you would go eat, usually have a nap, and then back in the afternoon session, very similar in the afternoon, but a little bit more of stuff, a little bit bigger session.
Yeah, okay.
Run's not as long as well.
Oh, okay, so you're running in the afternoon as well?
Yep.
Yeah? Damn.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
What are the instructors like, or trainers? They intense?
Yeah, they're just like, you know, there might be just a random pad man who you know nothing about in the gym and he's had 300 fights.
Oh, what?
You know what I mean? Like everyone's so much experience because they all start when they're kids there and just train, fight every 2 weeks. You know, when the kids fighting.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
The knowledge over there is crazy.
Yeah, right. That's kind of cool how it's like. I watched what is that fucking show called? This guy goes around. He was on a Magic Mike. That dude. Not the main dude, Channing Tatum, the other guy. And he goes around to like different parts of the world where they have like different types of bouts. And like in Mexico, it was like boxing, and then they went to like Africa for this random ass fucking sport.
I think I know the one you're talking. Is that Fight World?
Fight World.
Yeah. I've seen that.
And he went to Thailand.
Yeah.
Dude, these guys are weapons.
Yeah.
No fighting on the beach. A warning sign, like two stick figures
shaping up
at each other, saying no fighting on the beach. Like, it's crazy to think that some parts of the world are so like it's so in the culture.
Yeah, for sure. It's such a different culture. Like, you almost can't fathom it growing up here. You know what I mean? Like, the boys over there are training before school and then training after school, you know what I mean? And then fighting on weekends and stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild. To think that you could do that from like a young age and it's looked upon as like a value, like you respect it if you can do that. But in the Western culture, we're all like kind of like bitched out. Guys are wearing skirts and blue hair.
Yeah.
You know?
I know what you mean. It's kind of a bit mad, hasn't it?
Yeah. There are almost positives like to like this Western society, like the women are shielded a little bit more, but I guess that does leave them open to OnlyFans. Hey. But like you don't see that kind of like street fighting. It's more like king hits and all that shit.
Yeah, for sure. Like, there's elements of every culture that's good and bad, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, that king hit, like, what are you getting from that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not a big man because you can hit someone and run while they're not looking.
Yeah. And that kind of, that lives with you too.
Yeah.
You know, like,
yeah.
Especially if like the guy dies.
Yeah, it's stupid.
It's a stupid thing.
And even if you're young and immature, like, you know, one day you're going to be not young and immature and have to look back at that and live with that. You know what I mean? Imagine them when they're 70 going, I hit this dude and ran and probably ruined his life or killed him, you know?
Yeah. Brain damage, anything.
Yeah. It's just stupid.
Would you say that you would recommend like fighting to everyone? I had this question in my head because like most people that can like protect themselves, like it doesn't just give them a set of like skills to protect themselves. It also gives them a new standard on what violence means.
For sure. Like, I feel like everyone should train at some point, like especially for like, you know, like young males and stuff, and females as well for the self-defense aspect and everything. But like young males filled with like aggression and testosterone and things like that, like I feel like it can really change the way you view the world as well. Like, like you get a bully or someone like that and you get them to go train, they're not going to be a bully for very long because they're going to find out the real what violence is really like. And there's always someone in the gym if you're having an off night, or someone could be better than you know what I mean? Especially when you're starting. And especially like the respect in Muay Thai and other martial arts as well. Like, yeah.
I had my bell rung by a 65-year-old dude and we were just hitting pads and missed the pad and got me in the chin. I was like, damn, dude, I could get mad right now, but like, what's the fucking point? I'm surrounded by weapons, man, you know? That was the first time that I was actually like, oh shit, like this is just real, it's raw stuff, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like we are too shielded.
Yeah, like, I mean, you know, you see all the keyboard warriors and that sitting there, you have no idea what real violence is like. Do you know what I mean? And they're bagging out.
Yeah. I heard a quote the other day, and it was the difference between fighting and violence is I don't want to kill the other person.
Yeah, like it's a sport at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're still, and the thing is as well, if you go in there and just try throw everything you have at the guy, you'll gas yourself out real quick.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like that. To perform the best, you want to be kind of in that flow state. So not over aroused, not under aroused, just kind of
Are you getting to a flow state in the ring?
Well, that's the goal, yeah. Each
Yeah?
fight's different, you know, but the fights I've fought the best have been, yeah.
Damn, I didn't even think of it like that.
Yeah, because you're trying to perform. So if you're too wound up and you just want to hurt the guy, you're not going to, how are you going to defend? How are you going to see shots coming? How are you going to, you know, lean back and
Analyze.
get out of the way and have a game plan if you're just trying to kill the guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Fuck.
You watch the Thais fight and all the experienced guys, they're just sitting there like, they look like they're waiting at a bus stop. They're that relaxed, you know?
Yeah,
And
true.
then you've got, you know, changes of rhythm and things like that, set a pace and then change it up. And there's a lot more that goes into it, you know what I mean, than just trying to hurt someone. It's more trying to control yourself versus your opponent.
So how do you attain that flow state? Is it more like to do with the training and how much you expose yourself to the actions of the training?
It's a bit of everything, really. Like you get some people, you know, like you might be a killer in the gym and then not be able to put it together on the night, or some people aren't as good in the gym but then perform really well in a fight. It's a lot of it's mental and how you prepare, and yeah, but you've obviously got to put the work in and train as well, and yeah, there's a lot that goes into it.
So what comes down to the preparation for a fight? Like, take us through the last prep that you had for that last bout that you did.
Okay, so you're always kind of training, but we what we call like a power phase is like starts probably 3 weeks before a fight.
And this is what you'd call camp kind of thing?
Yeah, I guess like
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, there's kind of different versions of what you'd call like a fight camp. So like, you know, it depends how often you're fighting and stuff as well. So like, say like the big fights in the UFC and stuff like that, if they're only fighting once or twice a year, they'll have like a
6 to 8 week camp kind of thing to lead them
or
up.
like a 10-week camp or something, because they might be coming off the couch, or they might be just like, do you know what I mean? They might be training but not have anything in mind. Whereas if you've just fought a few weeks ago, you're not going to need as long. If you're always, so it all kind of depends on that. I try to like at Riddlers we try to stay
Fight ready.
yeah, more or less always kind of train, and then 3 weeks out we'll put in what we call power phase, which is basically all the training amps up for 2 weeks, and then we have 1 week where we taper.
Right. Is that to conserve energy for the fight?
Yeah, more or less. And then you start cutting weight in that week as well.
Okay. So how many times a week are you training when you're like prior to the taper?
5 days a week. But
Damn, dude.
yeah, but everything is so you know, instead of all your pads will be with the trainer, and you'll do extra like knees and conditioning and stuff after the session as well, and
Right.
just more extras. Basically, everything gets a bit more intense.
Hectic. And how much like strength conditioning are you doing in that period?
So general strength and conditioning, usually we'll do 2 to 3 times a week when we're like not in that power phase, and then twice a week in that power phase. But it's like obviously changes a bit, not throwing around as heavier weights and stuff like that, just to like to avoid injury, and
Just higher reps and faster movements.
yeah, kind of trying to get more explosive. And
You're right. Okay.
but most of that's all kind of handled by my coach.
Yeah.
Like, he's got a really good mind for it, so he kind of brings like the Thai style with the like Western sports science and kind of puts them together really well.
Is that Darren?
Yeah, Darren Reese. Yeah.
Darren Reese. Shout out Riddler.
Shout out to the Riddler.
Yeah, him and Dan.
He's gone. Yeah.
Dan's gone?
Yeah, he's left. Yeah.
He was fantastic.
Yeah, he was good.
He was really
yeah.
good. What's is it Barry?
Yeah, Barry's still around.
Barry's still around. He's fucking amazing too.
Yeah.
For a little guy, he's a weapon, man.
Oh yeah, Barry's a monster.
Yeah. I've seen a couple of his bouts like on YouTube and stuff. It's like fucking hell.
Yeah, he's got some heavy hands.
Yeah. What's that Thai guy? He's not at Riddlers. He's is it Ben? He's like the best in the world.
Wow.
I'm about to say Ben Chong, but that's not.
The old lady boy, eh?
The old lady boy.
You're talking about maybe sanchay?
Sanchay.
Yeah.
Fucking Banchong, Jesus Christ. He kicked me in the fucking head for that. Sanchay. I've seen a couple of his videos of like how, like he's the like sweep king for sure.
Yeah.
And I noticed like Barry kind of has a couple of moves like that too.
Yeah, well, yeah, it all crosses over, you know. And
did he do any training in Thailand?
I think he was there not too long ago, but a lot of it he's picked up just from experience in fighting here and stuff like that. And we're always working techniques from the best guys, you know.
And Riddler, and I'm just asking questions about these boys.
It's fine by me. You should get them in here.
Yeah, I will. I want to have Riddler on for sure. And Darren, he was so nice to me, and his wife was so nice as well. They're both champions, right?
Yeah. Kaylee was a 6-time world champion.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
And while she was pregnant, she was still training.
Yeah. There's a few viral videos of that of her hitting pads.
Yeah. And the baby's in there fucking. How many kids have they got?
They got 2.
They got 2. And
boys.
are they in the gym?
Yeah, they're always in the gym.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's so
It's
cool.
like their playground.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
That's cool. I love when families can do that, man.
Yeah, it's awesome.
They're the community that they have there it's really tight.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I've been to a couple of other gyms. I'm not going to name names, but you could just feel like the animosity between trainers and like somebody's getting too much like paid time or whatever the hell's going on.
Just a bit of ego or something.
Bit of ego, yeah. One thing I wanted to ask you, coming from the bodybuilding background, obviously we had a couple of egos on us, right? We obviously did. When you do strength and conditioning, does that ever come back? Like that wanting to, I could do more?
Well, to be honest, it's just like, I love Muay Thai way more than I love lifting weights.
Wow.
So it's just kind of like, it's just like almost like a necessary evil. Do you know what I mean? The weights, like it'll make me, if I could just train Muay Thai and just, you know, fight and spar and
not worry about the weights,
then I'd love to do that. But it's, you know, it's a different challenge, and it makes your performances better. So it's like one of those things you've kind of got to do it, I guess.
Yeah. Do you have that? Like, did you ever hit the gym before you hit Muay Thai? Like full on training where you were in the gym? Because I had this, right? Where I was in the gym and I was like lifting weights and I'd look at myself in the mirror just like and have like reminiscence of what it used to be like and then just being like, fuck this place.
Yeah, no.
You didn't have that?
No.
I kind of resented it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was weird. But then like obviously over time it became like, I've just got to do this.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. It's a very strange feeling to have when you start resenting exercise.
yeah.
Oh, damn.
It's not good, is it?
No.
You always go through like waves as well, you know. Like obviously there's days you like, don't want to train, but that's where discipline comes in, you know.
Yeah. Have you noticed Muay Thai helps with discipline?
For sure, yeah.
Yeah?
For sure.
In what ways?
You're like in a community of killers, you know what I mean? So like you want to be, if you're not showing up to training and everyone's getting better and you feel like you're getting left behind, what if your opponent's outworking you? And then you kind of play these little mind games to always train. But yeah.
Have you ever trained with any of your opponents?
No.
No, it's just the Riddlers. Have you fought anyone from Riddlers?
No.
They don't do like exhibitions or anything at the gym?
We spar every day.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that counts, right?
Yeah, true.
Very different to a fight. But no, I wouldn't fight anyone from my gym.
Yeah, okay.
You couldn't really, could you?
No. Well, I don't know. That's all I'm asking. Yeah. No, it's
You have your coach running around to both corners, yelling instructions in between rounds.
I'm on your side, bro. Yeah, no, that doesn't make any sense. That was a stupid question. I might cut that bit out, let's be honest. I'll leave it in, fuck it.
If you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah. I'm a moron, bro. I ask stupid shit, let's be honest. I saw a street fight, not personally, I saw it online, obviously, like people, bro, there's been some fucking crackers recently. Did you see that dude that, he's like a MMA champion? Well, not champion, but MMA guy, right?
Yeah.
He might be a fucking champion, I don't know. And there was those 2 drunk guys in Sydney, and he like fucking head kicks this one skinny guy.
I think I know the one you're talking about, yeah.
Bro, and that guy just like kept coming at him, like, learn your position.
Well, and then that even shows like he didn't want to fight the MMA guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And these 2 junkies are antagonising him. He had the self-control to try leave it alone, and then eventually.
It's cool that's even an option, like, because he was like, no. He was backing off, but always kept his back to his missus.
Yeah.
You know, to make sure like she was protected, and then just fucking bang.
Man, if you're training every day, the last thing you want to do is go out and get into scraps, and you know what I mean. It's like, what's the point? You want to avoid that and don't want to hurt people and who have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
But obviously, if it comes to that, like he showed.
Yeah. It was a good display of skilled action. You know, like what happens if you put yourself in front of somebody you don't know and you're like you said, the antagonist.
Yeah.
And this guy could be fucking skilled to the gills.
Yeah, you wouldn't know, would you?
You wouldn't know. Like, he just looked like a jacked, like, kind of gym dude.
Yeah, next minute his foot's hitting you in the face. Slap.
Yeah, with, like, precision.
Yeah.
Just, straight off the chin. There's too many videos like that. I saw this guy doing, like, we're talking about the taekwondo in the streets. That's never do it. But this guy did, like, a Krav Maga kick. And he completely missed. Have you seen that video?
Nah.
Oh, I'm fucking Googling that shit. This is so funny. He like comes up behind this dude and it's like next to a street pole.
Missed it by that much.
It's so stupid, eh? Like, how the fuck do you miss it? Like, he lines that up like it's a power ending to a fucking Mortal Kombat battle.
If he's trolling, it's a pretty good troll.
Yeah, I don't think it was because those other boys were scrapping hard.
Unless it was some random who just walked in behind, saw a camera and just...
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah. I'm just going to line this up perfectly. Fuck. Do you ever see yourself fighting MMA?
I've thought about it before.
Yeah.
Like originally when I started, I wanted to get like to a certain level and then kind of transition. But I fell in love with Muay Thai. At this point, I don't see myself ever going to MMA, to be honest.
Well, that's what Israel Adesanya did, right? He like fucking dominated in Muay Thai and then he was like wanted the bigger bag.
Yeah. I think he started in Muay Thai and then went to kickboxing, had about like 80 odd fights and then went to MMA.
80?
Yeah.
Damn. Holy shit.
That'll do it.
That'll fucking set you up a little bit, I guess.
Yeah. That's why striking's so calm and calculated.
Did you watch the Alex Pereira Adesanya fight?
Yeah.
What do you think of that knockout?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy, man.
I thought he was getting dominated.
It looked like he was in trouble. You know, his legs went and then he shelled up on the fence. And he said he was playing possum. Like, I mean, even if he was playing possum, he probably didn't want to get kneed in the head like that.
Yeah, true.
But then that counter was beautiful, just perfect timing.
It was weird because it was thrown like a straight punch. You know, like it was like fucking.
Yeah. It wasn't a straight down the pipe. Well, he was in close. You know what I mean? So he had to kind of arc it like a little more of a right hook than a straight.
Yeah,
but it worked. Do you know what I mean?
That was the only bout that they've ever had together where he's won, right?
Yes.
Even because he got dominated by Alex Pereira in kickboxing as well.
I wouldn't say dominated. Like the first one was very close from memory, and like I think a lot of people thought Izzy won, and then the second one he 8-counted Pereira, which is like he rocked him real bad. The ref comes in, gives him an 8 count, gave him a chance to recover, and then Pereira came back and knocked him out with the left hook. So they were like all competitive fights. Do you know what I mean?
They're pretty close. Like
they're a good matchup. You know.
They've made some money on UFC from those fucking guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I like the beef too. Like, I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's almost like a respectful beef because they know each other's skill.
Yeah. They're building the fight. And
yeah. Did you see Jorge Masvidal? He retired?
Yeah, I saw he retired, yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, he hadn't been performing as well as he used to, I guess. And
I think after he hit that, was it Colby Covington? Out in public where he knocked him out. I think that lawsuit probably rocked him a bit.
Yeah, I don't really keep up with it that much, to be honest. But yeah, that's right, because he lost then and he went and King hit him, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, King hit him when he was at a fucking buffet with his family.
Yeah, I mean,
leave it to the ring.
Yeah, but
he was talking shit about.
At the same time, you're talking shit about his kids, and you know who Jorge is. They used to be like best mates.
Did they?
Yeah, and
I didn't know that.
They came up together, and then Colby pretty much sold out to make money and not get cut from the UFC. He kind of started acting the way he does.
Have you been following the UFC as much as you used to?
Not as much, to be honest.
Yeah.
Follow more like, obviously follow more Muay Thai and stuff like that. But I still follow it, like not follow it, but I like watch the fights I want to watch. And
yeah. What do you think about I know I'm just asking questions about fighters.
It's fun by me, man.
Francis Ngannou.
He left, didn't he? Yeah.
It's like just before John Jones comes back, he fucking takes off.
Yeah, interesting. I think it was something to do with pay and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I think like Rogan was fucking talking so much about like how much he can get a bag if he just went into boxing.
Yeah.
Because like some of those people that have like the fucking massively natural generated power in their hands, like him, Wilder, you know, like just throw bombs, bro.
For sure.
They can make a lot of money in boxing.
Yeah, for sure. And you, especially in heavyweight, you've always got a chance to land that one shot and put someone out. Mm-hmm. Even if someone's kind of outboxing you for 5-6 rounds, you know. Look at the Wilder and Fury fights, you know. He was the first one, Fury was outboxing him for 12 rounds, you know, and that last round he got clipped, and like obviously he got up, but if he didn't get up, you know what I mean?
That's a good point.
Wilder could have just won that one exchange and won the whole fight.
Who do you reckon, have they booked another Tyson Fury fight yet? Let's Google this shit.
I think I don't think he's got anything booked, but I think he's meant to be fighting Usyk soon.
Oh.
Yeah, that'd be a good fight.
That'd be fire.
Yeah.
He's fought him before, hasn't he?
Usyk? No, I don't think he's fought Usyk. Joshua fought Usyk.
Oh, right. Yeah. Anthony Joshua is a fucking weapon, dude. But it kind of like, it's almost like the muscles don't match the voice. You know what I'm saying? You know, like you can talk all this shit, but like you kind of still like have that fluff.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't mean fluff like Andy Ruiz fluff, like fat or anything. He kind of just looks like a fucking natural bodybuilder.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and then he gets knocked by Andy Ruiz, who's a fat dude.
Well, that's fighting, man. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what you look like, is if you can fight.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I love that video of Tyson Fury. He's like, this is what the male peak performance looks like. He smacks his belly.
I rest my case.
Yeah, 100%. What did you think about the Tommy Fury and Paul?
I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it?
No.
That was like, I could see that every single time. I reckon 100%. He's that Jake Paul, great boxer. But I have a suspicion that because of his notoriety and his fame, other people, like the other fighters that he's fought, have probably been given a kind of like a, you know, to go down at a certain time. Now, faking a right hand or like faking on a right hand, you can see like the sweat bouncing off the glove when it hits the fucking head, but it's not like a rattling of the head. You know, like it's more
that
just like
Woodley one was pretty clean.
Yeah, the Woodley one was pretty clean, but like the Anderson Silva one, that kind of just looks like you pushed an old man over.
Well, I mean,
he did.
Kind of did, didn't he? Like, he's fighting dudes who are 20 years older than him and 10, 15 kilos lighter than him, who are coming from a different sport. Do you know what I mean?
And they can't use the main weapons.
Yeah, that was his first time fighting a boxer against Fury, wasn't it? I mean, I haven't really been following it, to be honest. It's kind of a whatever.
Yeah, I'm kind of like a hype addict.
Yeah.
Yeah, if something gets hyped up enough, I'm like, I'm fucking in, dude. You know, I'm like,
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm an addict, man. It comes with the territory of like the podcast and everything. Like, I like talking about shit that already gets the hype. And it's not necessarily like I want the trail of the hype. That's not what I'm interested in.
You just want to see the results.
I want to see the result.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Yeah.
And it's good for like, just like general public who probably don't like watch a lot of fighting, and you know, they can be interested, but maybe we're interested in Jake Paul from YouTube or just, you know, being a celebrity or whatever, and gets them involved. And
he is a loser though.
yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, he's he's making money.
Yeah, I know.
You got to respect anyone who gets in there at the end of the day. Like, it takes a lot of balls to just get in the ring and fight. So respect him in that sense. And like,
well, and how his brother's making bank fake fighting?
what's he doing?
He's thrashing his body in WWE.
Oh, righto, yeah.
You know, it's not fake fighting. It's like you're still getting thrown and like belted.
It's definitely fake fighting, but
it's all
you're
choreographed.
Still, yeah, it's still physical from what I've seen. I haven't been into WWE since I was a kid, mate.
Yeah, me neither.
And that was my dream when I was a kid.
Was it?
Nah, not really.
Oh, Jesus.
I used to love it though.
I remember
You'd be on the playground, like choke slamming people.
Yeah.
Getting up like the Undertaker.
Ding, ding.
Yeah.
It's the lunch bell.
So good.
Yeah, I want to tell the story of how I first met you,
Yeah, go for it.
because people need to hear this. It's pretty retarded. So
It's pretty retarded.
yeah, it is. Let's be honest. So when I was 18, I was a fat fuck. I was hitting around 130 kilos. Just you know.
Pretty heavy for a 18-year-old.
Yeah, right. Pretty much the same. Maybe a little bit shorter than I am now. I'm 6 foot. I think I was probably like 5'11", something. I grew a little bit more after that.
Yeah.
But I was high as a motherfucker, and I went to IGA for snacks in Ashfield. Shout out Ashfield, you dirty rotten people. And I got some snacks, and I was in line, and I was waiting for like this old. I remember the day perfectly. It was an old guy, and he was buying milk, but he couldn't find the change for the milk, and I was just like looking over his shoulder, kind of thing, at the exit. But like there was a whiteboard with a pin board on it, and it had your photo, and it was like you doing a side chest pose, or maybe no, it was you like this, just flexing, right?
Yeah.
It's just flex, and you were doing PT at that time.
Yeah.
So you were just promoting your PT, and I was like, damn, look at this motherfucker. And I kind of like looked at the photo, and I was like, holy shit, bro, like that guy's fucking shredded. Yeah. So I remembered that, and I was like, well, if this guy can look like that at this age, he doesn't look any older or younger than me. I want to look like that. So I started training, and I started eating better. And within a year, I dropped to 65 kilos. So I lost half my body weight.
Crazy.
And at that time, 65 kilos on me is like thin as fuck, right? And then I started training to gain weight, because I was like, I lost all the fat, and I kind of looked like anemic, skinny.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I need to put some muscle on. So I started learning
Get the balance right.
how to put muscle on right. Yeah, eating more protein, all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And weight training, because I was doing a lot of cardio at the time. So I started doing that. And maybe a couple years after doing that, I go to Bali. I went by myself, right? So so I was at the end of my 21st year, so just about to turn 22, I go to Bali, and I was there by myself, because the first time I went, it was with my parents, and they didn't need to see the kind of treachery that I was up to a second time. So I'm in Sky Garden at the top, just partying away, just
As you do.
and I'm like, fuck, I need a drink. And I'm there with like my little Indonesian friends. I call them little, they are little. Shout out Fuji. And I walk up to the bar, and I turn to my right, and I was like, are you Ben Coleman? And you're like, yeah.
I remember it well.
Yeah.
It's like, that is my name. Who are you?
And I told you the story that I just laid out, and you were like, no fucking way. And you almost had like a tear in your eye. You were like,
gave me goosebumps for sure.
being across like a different country, and having me go, fucking, you changed my life, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got that a lot, man, when I was younger, like, not to toot my own horn, but yeah, and that's kind of why I kept doing it and stuck with it, because, you know, like, that's obviously massive in in your life, and you know that's
was
kind of why I did it.
almost like meeting the hero, like meeting your idol kind of thing. Because I idolized that photo.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah. It was just like holy fucking shit. And then we've been friends ever since.
Yeah.
Which is fucking wild. And now you're
Spin out, eh?
dude, right? We met in a different country, bro.
Yeah.
It was a really, really cool like way to meet someone. And then we kind of, I wouldn't, not to toot my own horn now, we've always kind of like both been a little bit more ambitious than the average Joe. You know what I'm saying? Well,
I guess so. Yeah,
in
that's
things
one way to put it.
outside of work.
Yeah, outside of the norm, I guess.
Yeah.
Always kind of.
Like we found like the bodybuilding thing, like going deep into it, and then like you finding the fighting, me finding like music and podcasting and shit.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not so much that we're doing more than other people.
No.
It's more like we're doing the things we want to do.
Yeah, agreed. That's right. Yeah, like you're only here once, so you may as well do what you enjoy and what you love. You know.
Yeah. And if you don't want to be that old fuck in like a retirement village being like, oh yes, I could have done that when I was young.
Yeah, that's my worst fear, man. Like being like, what if? You know what I mean? Like, what could I? Oh, I could have done that. Well, why didn't you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because that means nothing if you don't have a crack. You know what I mean? And then you actually get to find out. Not going to die wondering.
Yeah, it's a massive part of it. I'm kind of the same. Every conversation that I have gets recorded, like, well, not every conversation, but every conversation that I want to have that's planned, you know, like with a podcast. I feel like I want to record all these podcasts because I want a reflection for when I get older to be like, oh yeah, I remember this one. Or like posted on my IG today that I'm going to do a podcast with my nan. And
yeah, I think I saw that. Yeah.
whether I put that out publicly or not,
We'll just have it for memories. That's massive.
yeah, it'd be like, oh, hey guys, I know you never got to meet your great-grandmother, but this is her.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It captures that part in time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing with like social media and the rise of the internet and everything like that. There's some negatives, but like look at the positives as well.
Yeah.
If you use it in the right way, you know.
Yeah. What do you think about the AI shit that's happening right now?
Crazy, right? The
Yeah.
chatbot and all that. Yeah, crazy.
There's a new one called Agent GPT.
Haven't heard of it. No.
Oh, so what it does, for free, by the way. One of my mates posted it, Sev, shout out Sev. It will literally do any task that's not physical for you.
Man, it's like just you don't even have to think anymore, do you? Like,
Yeah, you can just ask it to do something. Like I needed a business plan for one of the businesses that I launched that was an e-commerce business. We're about to go fully live, and I'll let you guys know.
a little plug.
Yeah, it's fucking wild. I was like, I could pay a business plan writer to do this, but I wonder what ChatGPT.
Dude, just as good a job, if not better. Like,
I was fucking like, holy shit. It gave us like a 16-point, like day by day, what to do for the business. And I was like, man, as if it can do that.
mental, right? I remember trying to tell when it first came out, trying to tell my missus about it, and she's like, "Oh yeah, whatever. Like, here you go on another rabbit hole." And so I brought it up in front of her, and she's a school teacher, and I was like, "All right, ask it a question." She's like, "Oh, I don't want to do that." And I was like, "All right, let's get it to." And we asked it like a question very specifically to like the WA curriculum, to write out a lesson plan based on the WA curriculum and all this stuff. Bang, 1 second, it's there. And she's like, holy, like,
whoa.
Yeah, she's like, this takes me ages to do, every time I have to do like a relief notes or something like that. And this thing's just done it in a 30 seconds. Like,
dude, that's crazy. Does that, like, we don't have to put this part out, but did she use it?
No,
okay.
It's just allegedly.
Yeah.
No, she didn't use it. It was just more of a, trying to show her what it can do.
There's a couple of AIs as well. So you got ChatGPT that can answer questions like in a way. So you could be like, "Hey, ChatGPT, can you answer this question for me, but in the way a child would write it in year whatever."
Yeah,
right?
yeah, mental, man.
And then there's another AI that you can process through that will make it look like a child write it and put in spelling mistakes and all this fucking shit.
Where does it end, man? Because like, how do you how do you stop that in like schooling from people cheating on
I don't know.
assignments? Do you know what I mean?
I don't know.
Supposedly they got some. I think they're making ones that, or they might have ones already that like
Detect
it.
metadata. Yeah. I've
Where's it end? If that's the start, do you know what I mean? Like,
it's fucking scary, dude.
Yeah.
Because like ChatGPT now can like I don't think it's ChatGPT, but there's other AIs, and I've talked about this extensively on the podcast, that will mimic a certain type of woman that you're after. So like you could be like type in your place of origin, so like anywhere in the world, so it'll attribute to the women that are in that place. So like it'll read over like all the text messages of women and all that kind of stuff,
and how they talk, and
how they
their
talk.
cultures. Wow.
And like the assemblances of respect in a relationship. So if you're like after like an Islamic woman who really like respects, like the man will like be very submissive and do whatever you like. You know, you're the man of the house. You're just on this and then it kind of gives you like hold on. Does that give us a false sense of what's happening in the world? You know, like if you are constantly talking to a robot that tells you like you're the best, like master, whatever.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Are you gonna start thinking of yourself in a higher regard? Like,
maybe like some people might just feed their own ego with it. You know.
yeah.
Who knows, man? It's whack. Next minute we're going to be in the Terminator.
Yeah. It's that Skynet's taking over.
It could be. I don't know. It could be really good, or it could end up really bad. I guess.
Yeah.
Depending on which way you look at it.
Have you like thought about what AI can do for like kickboxing? I'd imagine it could like
It can't fight for you, can it?
no, that's not what I mean. Like if it was like a camera that's analyzing the video footage to keep score of points.
Oh, right. You're thinking like, I thought you meant like ask it questions to like get better IQ about fighting or something.
Oh, even that, yeah.
May have done that before. No, just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
What does this really know? Like,
It's not cheating.
oh, mate. I just asked it general questions to see like if it knows
What did
other
it come
cultures.
up with?
I just asked it random things like I can't even remember what they were, but like, what's the best way to beat this style of fighter? And it was like fairly accurate. Like I was just curious. I was like, okay, interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, like, yeah, it definitely could be maybe a scoring system or something like that. It's hard though. Because then you're just kind of going, like one of the things I love about Muay Thai in Thailand is how they score. Because it's not...
Is it different?
It's very different. So it's not like kind of in the Western world how we'll think with like numbers, like I land this shot on you, that's 1 point. You know what I mean? It's not like theirs is... it's also influenced by like the gambling. So the first 2 rounds they don't score, and it gives like the gamblers a chance to bet. So the first 2 rounds they start real slow, and then they start scoring round 3, 4, and then in 5, if you're winning, you will like back up and kind of almost show that you're winning, because they look at it as like, why would you risk kind of getting knocked out if you're winning? But it's not so much as like, oh, I landed this more times than you landed that, so that scores more. It's like kind of who's winning at the end of the fight.
Right.
Because ultimately that kind of is what matters, right?
Yeah.
Like I'll give you an example in the UFC. Like, so when Islam and Volk fought in Perth.
Mm-hmm. Did you go to that?
I did, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was good. I went on my own, man, because I couldn't get tickets, and someone from work just gave me a ticket for $100 because he didn't want to go on his own. I was like, yes.
That's killer.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Islam won that fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Shouldn't have, but okay.
well, you can see it going either way. Like if you're with the current scoring system.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Yeah, like I was hoping
He
Volk
was
won.
dominating the first couple of rounds.
Well, how I saw it is I saw Volk winning the fight, but Islam winning the match, if that makes sense. So
Explain that.
okay, so Islam, with the criteria of the scoring,
Right.
in, I can't remember what round it was, maybe 3 or 4, when he's on his back for 3.
4.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
For 3 or 4 minutes of the round, he's riding his back and just resting, and Volk's, talking shit and punching over his shoulder and all that. But Islam knows he's winning because of that position, right? Mm-hmm. So he wins that round. And then in round 5, it ends the fight with Volk on top of him, punching the hell out of him, right?
Yeah.
So if that fight continues, right, who's winning that fight at the end of the fight?
Volk.
Because he's on top of him,
Yeah.
punching the hell out of him. So it doesn't matter what happened in round 1 or 2. If you end up in the end, you're getting your ass kicked in the end. They'd kind of see that as you're winning that fight. The person on top is winning that fight. Obviously, that's like an MMA version to try.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because, it's easier to use that as an analogy, I guess, than...
Right.
Versus, like, Islam's won on points, but, like, the rounds he won, he's won a round by just holding a position, whereas Volk's won a round by dropping him and...
Yeah, ground and pound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, in Thai scoring, it kind of reflects that, I guess.
Yeah,
a bit more.
okay.
So if you're winning round 4 and early in round 5 and then you back up, you've kind of won.
Oh, that's cool.
It's just a different way of looking at fighting, I guess.
It gives it more of a matchup to like the actual skill level.
Yeah, and it's
well.
like it's almost like a game of poker because you don't want to show too much too early. So if you go in and show everything you have in rounds 1, 2, 3, and it's all landing, but then you start getting thrown the same shot and it's getting counted in round 4 or 5, then you're losing.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? So if you come out and, I don't know, you're a heavy low kicker or something and 1, 2 and 3, you're blasting this guy's legs.
Yeah.
But in round 4 and 5, those low kicks stop landing and he starts pulling back and countering with head kicks or something. Just, I don't know, just giving you a random example.
Yeah. Did you go to any of the fights over in Thailand while you were there?
Yeah, for sure.
Was it mandatory with the camp?
No, it wasn't mandatory.
No?
But it was just a bit of fun, you know?
Yeah.
It'd be awesome. You jump in the back of a pickup truck and drive to the middle of nowhere and they have like temple festivals and stuff like that.
Right.
Which will just be like just like a massive festival and they've got all street food and stuff and then they have a ring back like in the middle of an oval just set up just everywhere.
That's
It
cool.
was awesome because I was in Chiang Mai, which is up north.
There's a couple of like suburbs that are dedicated, right, to Muay Thai.
Well, it's kind of everywhere, but Bangkok would be the capital.
Yeah.
It's got the 2 biggest stadiums there, and yeah.
Is that where Sanchay's from?
Well, like what happens in Thailand is a lot of fighters will grow up like rural or something like that. They'll get to like a certain level, and then they'll get sent off to Bangkok. Like a gym in Bangkok will buy them. Yeah.
Okay. So they're like tender for the fighters kind of thing?
Yeah.
It's contract?
Yeah, more or less, yeah. There's still heaps I don't know, man, as well. Like, I can't wait to go back, to be honest. Like,
So when
that was a very...
when are you going back again? June?
September.
September.
So I'm going with my gym. We're going for like 2 weeks, and then we'll have a fight at the end of it.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to stay on after.
Yeah. How long are you going to do this time, you reckon?
I'm just going to get a one-way ticket, man, and see what happens, to be honest.
That's cool.
Yeah, see what happens.
Like I said, I'm keen to join.
Yeah, come around, man. Come have a visit.
Yeah, well, how it goes right now is I'm very like open with the schedule, and the podcast can come with me anywhere, really. Just pack the mics up and...
Do one over there when we're in Thailand.
Oh, dude.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool as shit. Take the Roadshow on the road. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Thailand is fascinating. I've not been there. The one thing that scares me about Thailand is because I'm off weed now, and like that shit's everywhere apparently.
Yeah, they legalized it not that long ago. Yeah,
Apparently it's all through the camps too, like Muay Thai camps.
I'm not sure, man. I haven't been since it's been
The first
illegal.
time I didn't tell you this. The first time I went to Riddlers, I was high on an edible.
Oh my god, that just sounds like a bad idea.
Bro, it felt like I'd been training for like 10 years. Like, as soon as they told me something, they're like, you need to pivot when you fucking throw a hook. And I'm like, okay. And then Dan would show me how to like pivot properly. And it's like, it came fluently straight away.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's really interesting.
If I had an edible, I wouldn't make it to training.
Yeah.
But each to their own.
Yeah. I think when you're a full out stoner, like you can just do everything like it's clockwork, you know?
Yeah. It can make you more like in tune with your body, I guess, as well. Like,
Yeah, but
hopefully.
almost
Edibles.
killing yourself as well. Like you are. Come on. Anybody that thinks that like fucking seeing the devil is a good thing every day, fuck that.
Nah, that's right. It's like, I don't know, each their own, you know, but I think a little bit of everything in moderation's, you know, fair enough.
CBD is good for inflammation.
Yeah, CBD and stuff like that's really good.
You use any of that?
On and off.
Yeah.
On and off, yeah. Sometimes I use CBD.
Did you use anything for your scars?
Just scar cream, man.
They look great.
Yeah, they're healing up pretty good, eh?
Yeah. I was going to say, like, they're like barely visible. That's fucking cool. I told you about that BPC 157.
Jog my memory.
It's the amino acid based peptide that like gets rid of scars.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that shit is wild. I had any kind of inflammation, any kind of like systemic like soreness, it just gets rid of it. And
Okay.
I did 2 shots after I got diagnosed with Crohn's.
Yeah.
Directly into my organs. I was just like, let's go. Fucking bang. I don't care where it hits. Let's just try and hit something. And my inflammation went away.
Really?
Yeah, for
Wow.
like 2 weeks. And then I asked my doctor if I'm allowed to do that. And he's like, probably not.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll listen to him.
If I was a doctor, I'd probably say the same thing.
Yeah.
Not
yeah.
a doctor though, so.
Do it, bro. Get into it. Enjoy yourself. Yeah, there's a lot of alternatives for like healing and all that kind of stuff. What's your diet like?
Yeah, I mean,
If
pretty
that's
good.
loose and keeps spinning, just tighten this fucking thing. Or don't even worry. Who gives a fuck?
Should be right, mate.
There you go. You did it. Hey, very good.
I'll start my own podcast. No, diet's pretty good. Mainly eat clean, but what I've realised as well with the amount of volume I train is that I actually need to eat like your cheat meals and stuff like that more than I was.
Because you were hard out in diet back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day, for sure. But to have the energy to perform at the level I want to, you need to eat a lot of calories, and you can't get that many calories eating clean all the time. So I eat majority clean, but still like, you know, eat a bit of stuff here and there.
Are you doing like 3, 4, 5 meals a day?
Yeah, about 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember when you were religiously doing like 6 to 7 meals a day. I was
Yeah.
like, bro, what the fuck? And I remember you would cook. It would be tuna, eggs, garlic paste. That was the tip that you gave me. Rice and a handful of spinach. And you just fucking munch that spinach before you get into the tuna rice and the fucking eggs.
Well, when you're eating 6 to 7 meals a day, you're not going to enjoy every meal, are you?
No,
So
no.
at some points, it was just like, let's just get something in, you know.
Yeah, yeah. So you're not doing that like that style anymore?
Nah, that was purely just to keep the weight on, and obviously the bodybuilding and powerlifting kind of.
So you're tracking calories now though?
Not really. No, I kind of am pretty in tune with my body.
Yeah.
So I can kind of figure it out just by feel almost, I guess.
You're not overeating and shit.
Yeah. And to be honest, man, the hardest thing is to get enough food in.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, I don't really need to track calories.
What's your favorite cheat meal?
Don't know. Pizza's good. Pizza's always good.
I love pizza.
I love Thai food as well.
Yeah, man. Fuck yeah. I'm with you on that. Curries, like tiger and curry.
Yeah,
and shit.
Massaman curry or something.
Yeah, I'm eating a lot of coconut and stuff at the moment, so I can have a bit of that, but can't have spice, can't have rice. All things nice.
Damn.
Can't have ice.
Whoa.
Probably shouldn't do that anyway.
Yeah.
Thai's amazing. Do you like pho?
Oh, yeah.
It's
I
got
do.
no calories to it though, right? So you'd probably just be like, fuck that. I'll get some rice and beef.
Just kind of open to whatever, really, whatever
Yeah.
I feel like. But yeah, like more calorie dense foods, the better, really.
Eat heaps of bread.
Eat a bit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say heaps. Like most of my carbs is from rice and stuff like that. I still like try get, as long as I'm getting all my nutrients in,
Yeah.
like all the vegetables, protein, carbs, stuff like that. Then I'll throw in whatever.
White rice or brown rice?
I go white now. I used to go a lot of brown back in the day, but I find white just because it's easy to get more in throughout the day.
Yeah. And it holds longer? Like the energy holds longer?
Yeah, more or less, yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear about brown rice, the arsenic thing?
No, I did not.
Okay. This is a Google job.
Can I go for a toilet break while you do that?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
My man.
All right, so this study says, oh, well, not even study, it's from the Washington Post. Fucking, you know it's probably going to be bullshit. If you're thinking, but I only eat organic brown rice, surely that's healthy, you're in for a surprise. Inorganic arsenic is found in the outer husk of rice grains, which stays intact on brown rice, meaning there's more arsenic in brown rice than white rice.
Wow.
Do you know what arsenic is?
Jog my memory. Nah, I think I do.
It's a type of poison.
Yeah. I did know that.
What is arsenic?
Should have backed myself.
Yeah, you should have just been like, fucking take the gamble. So arsenic, what does arsenic do to humans? That's probably a better one. Arsenic can cause lung and skin cancers and may cause other cancers. The association between chronic arsenic exposure and cancer is strongest for skin, lung, and bladder cancer, liver, angiosanomacoma. I can't say
Good
that.
attempt.
Kidney and other cancers have limited strength of association, which is fucking scary to think that like healthy brown rice is.
Man, nutrition is the hardest subject in the world. Like it is always changing, and something that's. And I guarantee you it will happen again. Like, stuff that's healthy now, in 5 years, they'll come out and be like, oh, no, it causes cancer.
Yeah.
And you're like, how do you keep up with it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, podcasts are fun, bro.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the fighting thing, because I've got a couple more questions that I wanted to ask. So when you first started training, what was the hardest thing about the actual training itself that, like, you came across that you, like, was it the kicking, the punching, learning proper technique?
My hips took a while to loosen up from all the years of just
Squatting.
heavy squatting.
Yeah, okay.
That was probably the hardest thing to start with, just getting the mobility back.
Did you have to stretch heaps?
Yeah, that's part of it, but then it's also like fixing little muscle imbalances, strengthening that, loosening that.
Did you ever have an issue with your psoas muscle?
Yeah.
Yeah, was it tight?
Yeah.
I sometimes even still I'll get a tight psoas.
See, sometimes it can be overactive. This is where it gets hard, right? Because it could be overactive.
Okay.
But it could also be weak. So it could be tightening up because, say, if the load you're putting on it is too much for what it can handle, it's like it's got DOMs, and then DOMs on top of DOMs. It's not getting recovery.
Right.
So sometimes you need to strengthen it. Sometimes you need to loosen it. Things like that. So it's always like, and every body's different.
Yeah.
So you're kind of figuring it out as you go.
Okay. So once you got your muscle imbalance fixed, you were throwing kicks a little bit better.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. How did you overcome it? Like, how did you fix the imbalance?
Just through trial and error for the most part. Like, because I worked with like physios and stuff before, and they give you like a general idea, but then I feel like a lot of it was just doing stuff and seeing what helped, and kind of figuring it out that way. Because it's like, when you think about it, right? Think about when we used to just squat heavy. Yeah. You know what I mean? So say like at my peak I was squatting
220.
Yeah, 220 I was squatting. It's a lot of weight, right? Mm-hmm. Now think about how often you were lifting your legs up. How often were you doing this motion? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You always like, your feet were always planted and you were getting super strong in those muscles, but how often are you like lifting your leg, rotating your leg? You know what I mean? Just like standing there on one leg.
Almost like robotic.
Yeah. So you're super strong in some areas, but you're not necessarily strong in other areas. Like you're super weak comparatively in taking your leg and putting it in certain positions and stuff like that. So you've got to strengthen all them to try catch it up. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like, yeah.
That's fucking wild. The mechanisms of the human body. Once you need those muscles for other things, that you can actually fix those imbalances.
100%. It took. Oh, don't get me wrong. It took a lot of work, and I'm still always working on things like that as well.
Yeah.
It's like always it's like spinning plates, right? You go work over here on this for a bit, and then I need to go back to this one, work on this again.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah. It's like a tightrope walker. They've got to constantly balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. If you're just training flat out all the time and working yourself into the ground, you might be fitter, but you'll lose mobility, or you know what I mean? So it's always, you got to be able to recover. You got to be able to, That's why I like fighting as well, because it balances me out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have any issues with your shoulders? Like throwing punches or anything like that? I know a lot of guys that like go into training from like bodybuilding and stuff, like they'll tear something because they've just like the scapula's so fucking tight from doing heaps of back work and, like throwing a fucking, like a hook or even a jab, that extension of like all of the back muscles.
They're trying to like almost bench press their punches. Like,
yeah. Find that explosive power that they had in this short range motion to get like an extension, and it's completely different.
And it's, exactly right. And you're using your full body, you're twisting more movements you don't really use.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If you're in a bench press position at the gym, you're getting strong through, say, the chest, through shoulders, through those things, but you're not really using, like obviously you brace with your core and stuff while you're on the bench, but it's very different to dynamically being standing upright, twisting your body.
Yeah.
One leg forward, one leg back, twisting your whole body to get that torque in that. Do you know what I mean? You're isolating a certain movement without the full body being involved, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So now that you're using your whole body, is it kind of like more in tune rather than just like a set day for different things? Because you'd be using your full body every single day rather than just like a leg day, back day, chest day.
Correct. Yeah. So when I do strength and conditioning, it's full body workouts.
Oh, okay.
And it's just supplementary to the Muay Thai. Do you know what I mean? So it might be like, say on a Monday and Wednesday before training, half an hour of like some kind of circuit of strength and conditioning. Do you know what I mean? It's not like a full 2 hours smashing it.
Are you doing many twisting movements in the actual strength and conditioning itself?
There's some elements of that.
Yeah. Like Russian, what do they call those?
Russian twist, yeah.
Russian twist, yeah.
That'll be, and we do abs every other day as well.
Oh, okay.
So that's separate as well.
Core's massive, right?
Because it's not just generating the power and everything. It's elements of that, and it's also protection. Yeah, it's like your body armor. Yeah, you can see when someone has a weak core, and you can fold them easy.
Yeah, there's a couple of fat dudes that like, they're fat. Don't punch me in the face. But what's his name? Paul, the Russian guy. He used to train at Riddlers. He was a WMC champion, like heavyweight. This guy was like, he came in and he was like 6'5", just fucking huge, but fluent with his movements. And I was thinking, man, like he's muscly under that. Don't get me wrong. He's fucking jacked.
Talking about Paul Slawinski?
Yeah,
is that the guy you think? He's like a K1 legend.
Yeah. He came in and everyone's getting photos with him and stuff.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And he was hitting pads with Darren, and like just fucking training up, doing what he was doing.
Yeah.
And
heavyweight K1 days, boy. He fought like some bad people, man.
Yeah.
Like, pretty sure he fought Badahari and people like that. And,
oh my days.
Yeah.
That's some scary shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, the way that I saw him is like he was so fluent with his movement. The way his muscles just like you could see it underneath his fat that he was like jacked, right?
Yeah.
But that layer of fat probably almost comes to a layer of protection over the top of the muscle that's protecting your organs.
Yeah, if you're a heavyweight, for sure.
Yeah.
And also he's retired.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
But no, I get what you're saying. At heavyweight, for sure. The thing with the lighter weight classes is because you have to be a certain weight. So if someone's all ripped up and cutting weight, they might be, and someone's not ripped up, do you know what I mean? That person who's lean might be, I don't know, a foot taller or something with the same amount of muscle mass.
Oh, right.
So it becomes to like power to weight ratio and stuff like that. But you're probably right. Yeah, you can take a shot better sometimes if you have a bit of excess body fat.
So what weight range are you in at the moment?
A fight between like 70 and 74ish, around there.
Wow.
72 usually.
Yeah, and what category is that?
Middleweight.
Middleweight?
Yeah.
Do you plan to go any higher or lower? Or are you just like comfortable where you're at?
Wherever I get fights.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
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 Do you have like an ambition to like be a champion?
I'd love to be a champion,
Yeah?
man, for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
How far do you reckon you're off? I know that's a fucking blow in the dark. But
Yeah. We'll see. Got to keep winning and, you know, doing everything right and basically take it one fight at a time.
Is
That's the
there
way I'm looking at it?
Is there like an average that like a fighter normally would fight before they go for like a title?
Not necessarily. It's more just like, if you're winning fights and put yourself in that position. I was going to fight for a state title a couple fights ago, but it didn't end up happening. So, yeah.
You'll get there.
I'll get there. That's all right. I'll get another shot.
Yeah, 100%. So once you do state, then it goes for nationals?
Yeah, and there's all different promotions as well.
Okay.
There's lots of different sanctioning bodies.
Right. How many?
Well, there's like 3 main ones pretty much.
You got WMC.
Yeah, WBC, WMC, the main 2. They're the 2 big ones.
Yeah. They're the ones that you want to get into.
Yeah.
It'll happen, bro. I can foresee it.
My man.
For sure.
But at the end of the day, I just love fighting, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I love it. So it's like all the titles and all that. Yeah, that's nice, but it's like you want to have good fights.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, what does a belt really mean? Like it's just putting a name on to your hard work, I guess, to be able to be like, oh, I'm state champion, whatever. But if you're having wicked fights, that's almost more important. In Muay Thai anyway, I feel.
Yeah. The fighting is why you're doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And everyone I feel like everyone in the sport knows who the best fighters are, and people who are not afraid to fight the best and fight and keep moving up and keep challenging themselves. It's more, I feel like titles, yeah, it is obviously for people in the sport, but it's also for like people outside the sport to look in who are like casuals and stuff and be like, oh, that guy's a champion or whatever as well. Don't get me wrong, there's some legitimate belts that are like top. Like if you're a WBC world champion, that's like the pinnacle, you know what I mean? Like you are the man.
Right.
But I'm saying like the earlier titles and stuff like that. Because I guess what I'm getting at is like if you were to start your own promotion, you could have a state title for, say, the Roadshow.
Okay.
But then like,
It wouldn't mean shit.
what does it mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's so many.
Be a nice belt though.
Next minute.
Next minute. Yeah.
But yeah, like all that stuff's awesome, man. And I'd love to have, belts at the end of the day, but I just want to fight, man.
Yeah. It's because you're in it for the passion of the actual task.
And I think like most people in Muay Thai are, because there's not like heaps of money in it or anything like that.
Even at top tier?
Like if you get into one championship and stuff like that, there's a bit of money to be made, but yeah, there's not life-changing money really anywhere in the sport.
That's kind of more MMA, right?
Yeah, MMA, the top level guys make big money, Same as boxing.
Well, Andrew, I'm going to have to censor that.
Oh, here we go.
When he was a 4-time world champion, he said he made 30 grand for each of his title fights.
Yeah, so that's decent, but
that's still only fucking 120 grand.
That's what I'm saying. It's still not life-changing money.
Yeah.
I mean, you take it.
Yeah, but like then if you put yourself in the ring with Floyd Mayweather once.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like the whole YouTube boxing and stuff like these guys,
they're fucking cleaning up,
bro, and they don't even know how to fight. Like, don't get me wrong, they're still training and doing
You hear us
and jumping in, but like, yeah, you know what I mean. Like you're just going in. You're not going to beat Floyd Mayweather, but you take that paycheck.
Yeah, that's where Conor, I think, fucking boasted like a motherfucker.
Yeah. But it also he's a good example because it also kind of ended his MMA career, right?
Yeah.
Since that Floyd fight, he's 1-4.
Yeah.
Before that, right, when he's on a tear, when he's killing it, he's just fighting and just living the life and just obsessed with the training. He's in it for the training and
Yeah, his momentum was stunted by the chase of fucking dollars.
Yeah, well, once he made that money, he just put the feet up, and then when he came back, everyone's caught up. You know what I mean?
And he, like, I guess too, like having the UFC fans look at him like the champ,
Yeah,
and then going into boxing and going up against the best in the world.
yeah, he held his own. Like,
But it also did something for marketing, where a bunch of people that are only fixated on boxing now see this guy, and then they probably brought more fans over to UFC for that. But that's when he dropped Proper 12, and then he was able to really sell that and start living the fucking life.
for sure. Like,
Yeah. So
and he's set. He doesn't have to fight if he doesn't want to. But he realised after that, you know, he still loves fighting. And
what's with his jaw?
what do you mean?
His face has gotten bigger, like he's on the gas.
Yeah, that's because he is.
You reckon?
Yeah, he's pretty much admitted to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he took himself when he broke his leg. I'm pretty sure he took himself out of the USADA testing pool,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah,
For 9 months.
Yeah, so he's just been.
Well, higher
using-
testosterone gives you a higher bone density, especially if you're muscle.
He'd be working with
weight training.
all the best, you know, the best telling him what to take to heal it up. Which, I mean, whatever.
Do what you got to do. If your body was the way that you made your money, and now you have all the money in the world, wouldn't you try and fucking heal your body as much as possible? He's doing like
an
blow and
interesting
shit
one.
though, right?
Well,
After he got caught with those strippers and all that cocaine in that apartment, and his missus is like, "I'll fucking leave you." And she never did. She stayed with him, and he kind of cleaned up his act. Now they just party together.
good old Conor McGregor.
You gotta love him, man. Should we wrap this shit up, bro?
Yeah, easy.
Let's do it. How can people find you? You got some cool reels and shit you're putting out now for your fighting.
Yeah, Concrete Coleman on Instagram.
Yep.
And just,
When's your next bout?
nothing in the works as of yet, but we're hoping to get one next month.
Cool.
So fingers crossed.
Dude, it's been a pleasure.
Likewise, brother. Thanks for having me on.
Ladies and gentlemen, have a fantastic weekend. Bye.
Take me home, I wanna know if you're down, ready to go. Wanna fly away with you, float away, fly away.